Hello folks, Richard Moore, USAGSA, and I do have an update on you. It's an unbelievable update. It shouldn't surprise anybody, but it's a continued pileup of damning evidence against this corrupt sheriff's department in Lowndes County, Mississippi. Before I get into it, I encourage you to share this video, to subscribe, like, and I do welcome your comments. In the description of this video, you'll find our link tree, and if you click that link tree, that will take you to our other platforms, blogs, Patreon. I encourage you to become a Patreon. You can become a part of USAGSA and join the battle with exposing corruption and empowering victims across this country, working together as a team. Also, by being a Patreon, you'll get first-hand information that is not relatively available on the other platforms. Or at best, you'll get it before the other people get it. So let me jump right into it. I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. On Sunday, August the 11th, approximately 1:30 p.m., two Lowndes County deputies, two different vehicles, were racing down, I believe it was Highway 12. I believe it was Highway, I'm going to say it was Highway 12, leaving out of Columbus, Mississippi, going towards Steens, Mississippi, a community just right outside of Columbus, at a very high rate of speed on a two-lane highway. This is Sunday afternoon, right after church. And one of the deputies T-bones 85-year-old Sarah Jackson, killing her. Now, I'll have the link to that video as I talked about it, and that was published, I think, the day after it happened, okay, on the 12th. So I encourage you to go back and look at that video as well. Well, since that time, a FOIA request was conducted. Those results are in, and I've got that posted on here for you to read, along with what I'm doing here. Now, I had several people, scores of people, that are on the crooked Eddie Hawkins, the sheriff's bandwagon, and are bedfellows with Jeff Edmondson and some of these other clowns and perverts working for Lowndes County Sheriff's Department. These criminals with badges that have zero accountability, zero oversight. It is the Wild West. They're doing what they want, when they want, with whoever they want to. And whatever they lie they tell is what the news covers, and that's what the newspapers print. The Attorney General, Lynn Fitch, doubles down on whatever the sheriff tells them. When this deal is under investigation, or was so-called being investigated, we know there's no investigation by MBI, Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, which falls under, that's Lynn Fitch's department. And so goes the rest of the story in Lowndes County as we continue to expose the lies and corruption by this sheriff, his department, and by the prosecutor, Scott Cologne, how he co-signs this criminal behavior. And not saying much for the judge sitting on the bench down there that's going along with all this crap as well. And more on that here in a few days. I've got some more on this. It's just unbelievable. So on the FOIA request, now I had a lot of people complaining. I had one clown said, "I dare you go public with this information. A lot of this lady's family hadn't even been notarized. I hadn't been notified. Blah, 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 blah." I had to block this asshole. WCBI, fake news in Columbus, and WTVA, fake news in Tupelo, and the Commercial Dispatch on their website already covered this. I was the fourth man out on doing the coverage. But the difference is, what he didn't like, and what a lot of people didn't like, is you had fake news versus the real deal. And that's me. Because I'm not going to pull any punches here. I'm going to tell it like it is. I call it like I see it. And if the shoe fits, you know what to do with it. No lies here. We're going to tell the unadulterated truth whether they like it or not. Then we had these Crooked Eddie Hawkins bandwagon fans. They were going to an emergency. There was a gun. People's lives were in danger. The old woman shouldn't have been on the road. I've heard all kinds of disgusting, pathetic, miserable, tired excuses as why, and they tried to justify the killing of Sarah Jackson. It was Sarah Jackson's fault. She was 85, and she didn't have any business in her car on Sunday afternoon driving anywhere. Should have been at home. And that, folks, if that doesn't rile you up, nothing will. Like I said before, these people that are supposed to protect and serve, they're out here and you are not safe, especially in Lowndes County. When these morons get in these cars that we're paying for, turning these lights and sirens on and going as fast as top end. These deputies were going between 80 and 100 miles an hour on a 2-lane highway, busy Sunday afternoon to go to a domestic disturbance call, which typically across the nation, it is customary on a domestic disturbance call, they don't use lights and sirens. For those that don't understand that, do the research. Don't ask me where I get all this from. I'm not Wikipedia, okay? I'll just tell you what the deal is. Now, so they had all that. That is neither here nor there. If you got lights and sirens on and you're coming at somebody 80, 100 miles an hour, I imagine they're hit before they hear the lights or the sirens, okay? So, here's what the FOIA request said about this domestic disturbance call. And I'm going to post it up here where you can see it. The call was a simple domestic disturbance. This comes from the FOIA request from Lowndes County Sheriff's Department, which what they gave us was the information came from Attorney General Lynn Fitch's office, which tells us they're letting MBI handle the FOIA request surrounding the killing of Miss Sarah Jackson. Reported incident: disturbance, loud noise, and arguing. End of discussion. A young man, 18, 20 years old, was kicking and screaming and cutting up, arguing with his mama or his girlfriend, somebody in the front yard. That was the emergency, boys and girls. Nobody's life was in danger. Somebody was out there in the yard raising hell. I don't see why you would even go on a call like that, much less turn the lights and sirens up, much less be breaking the sound barrier and taking citizens' lives at danger. Nothing, absolutely nothing about the call that Lowndes County was on justifies the speed and the killing of an innocent citizen. Nothing. And so, read it for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I encourage you to go back and watch the original video where we covered this and we talked about it. We'll continue to do this because the officers involved they're still on duty. They have not been fired. There have been no sanctions and no charges, no penalties, nothing. These people need to be put under the penitentiary. I remain steadfast with my assertion and my opinion and belief that the sheriff, Eddie Hawkins of Lowndes County, needs to immediately resign and turn himself in to the FBI and give up the goods about his criminal activity. Do this county, this city, this family, this state, and more of this country a favor and take yourself out of the equation and quit drawing money from the taxpayers and stealing and robbing and lying and hoodwinking and betraying the citizenry and betraying the Constitution of this country. You're absolutely pathetic. You're a corrupt criminal with a badge. And it's high time that the voters in Lowndes County, Mississippi, make a decision. Do you want this kind of tyrant in office? I think not. When election time rolls around, I do hope that we're able to make some changes there. God forbid this man runs again. God forbid that he still remains in office past this horrible, reckless incident that happened with his department. And this is not the first time. This is not the first person they've killed that's been gunned down or run over or mysteriously found dead in the jail or have come up missing. Can't find them. Ryan Taylor. It's deep, ladies and gentlemen. It's deep. I suggest you follow the stories we've done on Lowndes County if you want to know more. Until next time, God bless you.